Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Barony. So, a few people have suggested that the Wizard is probably a good class, and in fact there's been a mildly extensive discussion today on the benefits of the Wizard versus other classes in the comments of one of the previous videos. So, let's give that a try, shall we? We'll be a male character. And let's be a Wizard. The wise magician. Though frail, they are extremely well versed in magic. Apparently it's classed as a hard character class, but the consensus seems to be that it's very powerful as a result of starting magic and such, and actually doesn't really suffer that much on the melee side. Just kind of lower HP and carrying capacity. But let's give it a go. Let's be Hard-bred wizard. Apparently that guy has mutton chops under his eyes. I guess it must be a wizardly thing. Magical facial hair. Let's go. And this character is going to be called Alf, for reasons which will be apparent to people who've been long-time viewers of my videos. Let's continue with single player. Still haven't had a chance to play Barony multiplayer yet. Not really. A couple of people have sort of reached out to suggest trying it, but I haven't managed to set anything up yet. Magic Staff of Light and Quarterstaff. I'm not entirely clear on how magic staffs work. I mean, I assume they have a magical effect, and that's how they go, rather than just being weapons. Whereas the Quarterstaff seems to be actually just a straightforward lump of wood with some metal on the end. So for the time being, I'm going to do this. Let's see what we have in the way of magic. That looks like nothing. Oh, I guess we maybe have to read the books. Yeah, Light and Force Bolt. I feel fairly confident that the Wizard, at least in earlier builds of the game, used to just start with Light, but maybe I'm thinking of a different class. In any case, let's have a read of Force Bolt. We learn that, and we learn Light as well. So, they're now on our hotkey bar there, so I guess 4 is Force Bolt and 5 is Light. Let's do this. I can hear rats, but they don't worry me all that much. That book could be very useful. I'm starting to get a WazHack feel here, actually. The bit where I start off as a spellcasting class and go, okay, need to collect books, need better spells. So, we've got a ring there, so I'll just snag that. And then another spell book. Well, potentially a spell book. It could, of course, just be a volume of verse or something. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's just a journal. I finally found it. The ruins of the town, once known as Hamlet. The over-literal name of the town. Let's just chuck that on the floor. Don't really want it. And then we'll move on. You know what? I'm going to cast the light spell here. Oh, crap. No. Yeah. That didn't go so well. So, let's just restart. We were kind of blindsided by some skeletons while trying to do something else at that point. So let's try again and be a little more cautious this time. Let's learn the spells before we descend into the dungeon. So do that. And then probably cast the light spell before leaving the first room on the next floor. So here, cast light straight away. Like, God, how do we cast it? I don't remember how you cast the thing now. I assumed it would be the hotkey, but apparently not. Is it F? Yeah, it's F. Okay. We almost destroyed the door, so let's equip light, cast that, and then we'll equip Force Bolt, and have it ready to cast at skeletons or rats that might lunge at us out of the shadows. Okay. I want to clear out these corridors a little bit before I start venturing into a room containing a fountain. Fountains worry me at the best of times, since they can be very, very poisonous. I probably need to turn up my mouse sensitivity or something. It feels like I'm fiddling with the mouse a great deal. It's probably not hugely advantageous, so I'll try and remember to do that before the next episode. Well, since we have full health, let's just try drinking. You feel very confused. So my controls have been reversed. Better and better. So let's try and use this thing. It is actually surprisingly confusing trying to use reversed controls here. Do we have anything we can appraise? Not really. Potion of Restore Magic. It looks as though... Oh, hell. Alright, here we go. Wow, we took a lot of damage from that rat. It looks as though magic doesn't regenerate, or MP don't regenerate. In fact, they seem to be just deteriorating. That's interesting. Wow, okay. So you have to cast spells really, really quickly or you lose access to them at all. I'm not sure what I think of that method of balancing out the power of the class here. So far, in terms of people's recommendations of the wizard as a really powerful class, first impressions, it's a bit balls. I mean, by the looks of it, unless you just sprint around every floor full tilt, then... Oh, no, I know what it is. It's light, isn't it? There we go. It's because I had the light globe hovering around over my head all the time. That's what was depleting my magic. I was going to say, the way it seemed to be going was that MP just deplete constantly, maybe as a balancing mechanic to offset the power of the spells, in which case you basically have to just sprint headlong around the levels all the time to try and cast spells before your MP run out entirely. But in fact it was because I still had that light globe hanging over my head. I had assumed it was going to have a finite duration, but no. Which is good to know, at least. So let's try reading this purple book we just picked up. Survey of Goblins. I don't care about a survey of goblins. I have no interest in what goblins have to say about anything. Would you like to complete a short survey, sir? No thanks, I'm a goblin. No one cares about my views. Oh, the ordeal of the goblin man. Okay. Goblin man sounds like a terrible fifth-rate Marvel superhero. Let's take this guy out with our quarterstaff. Yeah, you. Yeah, you. Yeah. Actually, the quarterstaff is pretty powerful, it seems. I'm not bothering to pick up all the crap because it sounds, based on what people said, as though the wizard has pretty poor carrying capacity. So I don't want to burden myself with junk. I tend to avoid doing that anyway, even when I'm a more melee-centric character. But with this very physically weak spellcaster, I really don't want to slow myself down to 1/10 of my normal movement speed just by carrying a couple of hats around with me. Just on the off chance that I might bump into a shopkeeper who wants to buy them. I mean, if you've watched previous videos, or you're familiar with Barony, then you'll be aware that, in fact, there's a good chance that shopkeepers just won't be interested in the stuff that you happen to be carrying. You know, there's a good chance that you'll be carrying a load of helmets or something and just bump into a bookseller. So I've come in here primarily because it's light, and we have really low health, so I want to be able to see what's going on, and see any approaching enemies. I'm really not liking my lack of health. I think the batteries might be running out of my keyboard if you see me cease moving for any reason. Okay, shall we drink this? If it's poisoned, that could in fact kill us, so we probably don't want to do that. Yeah, our HP is too low to bother risking it. Let's just move on. Let's force bolt this guy, shall we? Yeah, force bolt's okay. Two-shotting skeletons is decent. Could do with a bit of a healing effect. Ah, the exit. Let's dive down there, shall we? Okay. So, still pretty low on health, but... Oh, the Minotaur's coming. Fantastic. Let's grab the money, and then basically... Huh. Well, we've got some meat at least. Food is always kind of an issue, so it's nice to find the meat there. let's equip a torch. I don't really want to deal with... Aha, there we go. I was going to say I don't really want to deal with the constant depletion of my MP by the light spells. I'm just going to stick with old-fashioned fire on a stick. As you'll know if you've watched previous videos, my priority there was getting off that floor before the Minotaur arrived. Hence diving down the stairs to the next level as soon as I saw them. Now here, hopefully, we should be able to take our time a bit more and explore. I don't like passing up the chances to find good gear, or at least not... I don't like passing them up too quickly before we've had a punt at exploring the level. Wow, managed to one-shot the skeleton there. Could do with identifying some of the rings and things. Saviour Knight of the North. Well, I might be interested to read that at some point, so I'll hang on to it. I don't remember reading that one before. Oh, apparently we're hungry, so let's eat the meat we just got from killing a rat. There we go, rat meat. Raw rat meat, apparently. Okay. Well, I know that appraising is a thing you can do. It's something I haven't really explored all that much, so let's try appraising the cracked ring, shall we? And that will just happen as we walk around. Okay. It's not going that quickly. I don't know whether that's a result of it being a powerful or valuable item, or whether that's just how quickly it goes, or what. Not sure. Definitely some things appraise more quickly than others, but I don't know what the determining factor is. Let's force bolt this thing, shall we? Okay. Now, I definitely see why people say the wizard is powerful. I mean, to be able to take out a troll in 3 hits from across the room, that is a big deal. And it does really feel like the wizard probably leaves melee characters in the dust in terms of just raw performance. Because melee characters generally have to take damage. There's no way around that. Even with something like a spear, which gives you a bit of distance between you and an enemy, even then, you're generally going to take at least a couple of hits in a combat. Oh shit, this is another Minotaur floor. No, I don't want an open space. Crapping hell. Okay. I really need to find the exit here. Oh, we've seen it. Apparently we've seen it. It's on the map. It's right in the centre. Oh, is that where all those weird-ass gates and things were? Shitting hell! No. Wow. Okay. So I need to pay more attention to the messages, because I didn't realise that was a Minotaur floor, just like the previous one. I guess I just assumed there wouldn't be 2 Minotaur floors in a row. Yeah, well, learning experience and all that, such as the nature of roguelikes. And yes, I know it isn't a proper roguelike. That's been a discussion in the comments. But I think it has enough in common with roguelikes that I don't feel too bad referring to it as a roguelike casually, as it were. Okay, so let's equip Force Bolt and a torch. Of course, we still have that Staff of Light as well, which is probably worth trying out at some point. Okay, what's over here? Nothing. I'll take another torch, since we are using them fairly liberally at the moment. Bit of cash. Could come in handy if we ever stumble across a shop. Oh, shitting hell. No. Wow. Okay. So, despite the fact that earlier on we one-shotted a skeleton, we apparently, what was that, 4-shotted or something? That one? I mean, I know we gained a level or 2 with the previous character, but that seems excessive. Still, at least that highlights the fact that gaining levels does actually have a tangible effect. You know, in some games, level gains are so incremental that you might as well not bother, because you need to gain 5 levels before you start to feel any appreciable difference at all. That's certainly not the case here, as it turns out. Okay. Flick this lever. Who designs dungeons with levers just sitting in the floor for random passers-by? I mean, why would you even bother locking a treasure chest in a room if the lever to unlock it is just outside? And why would you seal a loaf of old bread inside a treasure chest anyway? Alright. Oh, locked door, eh? Challenge. Come on then. We might have to force bolt this. Yeah, I just magicked my way through a door. I am the wizard. All other wizards envy my wizardiness. Okay, there's still a fair amount of this floor to explore. But you know what, I am just going to go downstairs. Being reasonably well equipped with a default force bolt, I actually don't feel like there's that much need to roam around the floors in search of good gear. I might come to regret that choice sooner or later, but right now, I feel powerful enough that I can probably hold on for just whatever I find on the floor after my body explodes. Well, that's what I get for being overconfident. Okay. Once again, I do feel like the wizard is probably the strongest class I've played as anyway. So, I'm just trying it again and again here. I mean, so much for the game's own claim that the wizard is a hard class. I mean, of course, I haven't got that far yet. So I suppose you could say, well, you've only gone down a couple of floors, the wizard must be pretty hard. But, just take it from me that in terms of feel, just the feel of how challenging it is to play as the wizard, it feels like the easiest class to play as. Ah, that was poison. Good thing I drank it when I was at full health. Not taking risks with rats after that last one finished me off. I mean, I guess the advantage of the wizard using a quarterstaff is that you have range. You have a range benefit over at least some enemies. But even so, I feel like there probably isn't much need to go walloping stuff with your stick when you have Force Bolt. After being poisoned and reduced to half health, I'm not going to gamble on those fountains. Maybe if we end up passing through this room again later on once the rest of our health has come back, it might seem like a better plan. But right now, I have a deeply ingrained fear of water after being poisoned by it. Wouldn't you? If literally 100% of the water you had drunk, as is the case with this character, had poisoned you, would you not fear water? Do we not bleed or something? Do we not drink? Okay, so we need to get sort of southeast-ish, which is kind of over here. There we go, that's more like it. Skeleton, not too afraid, thanks to our mighty Force Bolt. That's the two fountains room again. No. That sort of wind-up time, that Morrowind-esque flailing of the arms before you cast a spell, is a bit of a hair-raiser if you're caught off guard. Well, I suppose it's my responsibility as a player of Barony, my solemn duty, not to be caught off guard, if I can possibly avoid it. Basically, to play a bit more carefully, and apparently to try and speak like Winston Churchill. Badly. That actually wasn't consciously Winston Churchill. I think I was thinking more of Jim Hacker from Yes Minister, pretending to be Winston Churchill. To create a better Britain for our children and our children's children. If you've ever watched Yes Minister, you know what I'm talking about. Run from the rats, run from the rats. No, rat fear! Oh God, no! Oh, Jesus. 2 health left, and I can hear another one running. Oh God. It's like Alien, only with rodents. Rodentian. Okay. I can still hear its tiny clawed feet skittering, and I only have 2 health. In the passage of what feels like 100 years since that last rat battle. We've barely regained any health at all. Oh, shitting ball sacks. Apologies for the mild profanity, but that just really startled me, and I hate spiders. They really distress me. Anyway, as this skeleton wanders over to high-five the spider for killing this overconfident wizard, I think we'll call it a day there. Not a long episode, but I feel like that's a good point to bring it to a halt for this time. So thanks for watching, as always, and rejoin me next time when we will explore some more Barony with the wizard, because I do feel like the wizard, once I get the hang of being a bit more cautious and making sure I have as much distance as possible between me and enemies, I feel like the wizard might actually be the best option. So thanks for the tips, everyone, and thanks for watching, and come back the next time. So until then, bye for now.